Here, yeah, for those who need it. Once again, Puho. That's my logo. I was watching a video, and the young man was talking about the sinuses. He was talking about how the sinuses was blocked, clogged up with filth. He was talking about how our world that we live in is very limited and it's dirty. It's not connected with nature. I think he's correct. We live in a very dirty world. If anybody is alive right now and under 100 years old, well, the world that you were born into was industrialized. You know, and I mean, obviously it depends on where you are. You're going to be more industrialized in other places. But in the last, I would say, 40 to 50 years, the world has been increasingly industrialized. We're talking about machinery. We're talking about air pollution. We're talking about water pollution. Land pollution. Believe it or not, dirt, toxic stuff gets in the ground and can pollute the ground. The animals eat the grass and stuff like that. We eat the animals. You know how it goes. So we live in a very dirty, toxic world, and even the air that we breathe. You know. So he's talking about the sinuses. There's people who talk about the gut. You know, and not only that, we got radiation poisoning, you know what I mean? I mean, electricity and stuff like that is fantastic, but the technology, I don't think is still as clean and as good as it can be. And when I say good, I mean good for us. You know, I think it's still kind of dirty and bad for us to even be around. Even using the phones. I use my phone every day and I keep it with me, but it's pretty dirty. I know that it's not as clean as it could be. Watching television, using computers, the radio. We got radio waves going, invisible waves going through us all day, all night. Not only that is that we have negative dispositions. We talk bad to each other. You know what I mean? We have negative thoughts. And guess what? If you eat the unhealthy food and you breathe unhealthy air and you have unhealthy waves running around, most likely you're going to have unhealthy thoughts. You might say unhealthy things. So it's this culture of just breeding all of this unhealthiness. And then on top of that, for years, hundreds of years, because the food thing been bad for a long time, people have been thinking that, you know, you eat and you get all fat and big. And I'm not shaming anybody, but I'm just saying unhealthy big. Big guts was like, oh, a sign of prosperity. And those people really had bad health problems and they died from it. But you do all of this stuff and then you create that negativity or you keep feeding this negativity. It ends up being negative on negative on negative on negative. You got the negative mind state. You can't get out of the negative food cycle. You can't get out of the negative friend cycle or places, you know, and vice versa. All of this negative food and cycle and friends, it gets into the mind and all that. So what am I saying? I'm saying we live in a big dirty world. So what happens when things get over dirtified? You gotta clean it. You know, so I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just sitting there saying that every once in a while, if you haven't thought about cleansing, you might want to think about cleansing. And it's not that you got to go on some big fast and big thing, but think about it. You might have to cleanse your mind. You might have to cleanse what you're seeing all the time, what you're taking in through your eyes. You know, he was basically talking about the senses. You're hearing negative stuff. You know, you're eating negative stuff. You're breathing negative stuff. You're saying negative stuff. Sometimes the cleanse is just the balance because we're way over on one side, still going on the other side, and eventually you kind of meet kind of in the middle. You know what I mean? You wave away. So what I'm just saying is that, you know, clean your way. I'm not trying to tell anybody to clean any kind of way. I'm just saying, like, yo, let's just be aware of, like, this might be going on. And, you know, and it adds to depression and adds to bad feelings and it adds to all of these things. It adds to a lack and it adds to us missing our blessing. You know, so let's not miss our blessings. You know, let's if we always going with the left foot, it gets to be unbalanced. Go with the right. If we're always going with the right foot, it gets to be unbalanced. So, you know, my videos are all about balance. So sometimes you just got to clean up just the balance, right? Wait, what if you're going too hard and you way too good? You're doing too much good stuff in the negative world. You might be unbalanced. You know what I mean? Chill out for a moment. Stop going so hard on the good stuff. You giving mad good stuff to people who is not doing nothing but trashing it. Maybe you just getting out and maybe you still unbalanced. So that was just a little PS on the top of that. But anyway, that's for those who need it. Yo, love and magnetism.